This fan is terrible. It's better than nothing, I guess. It's a WD-40 in there. Probably blow it up. What's up, folks? How's it going? Hey, Rex. Hey, Crispy Bravo. Hello, Woods. Scott Griffin. Hey, buddy. Tub. Shut up, fucking Bree. Gotta get rid of the tub, you're right. Where's the Cansoft video? I haven't had the time to make it, I guess. He do be biking, though. Hey, Alan. I need you to recite fire discipline while burning that Donair off. I'm not reciting fire discipline today. It is a bald spot on my head. Thanks for reinforcing and reminding me that I have one, you ass. You know what, for that, you're getting the hat now. Dennis Art Studio, hey man, how's it going? I hope all is well with you too. Burnt potato, that doesn't look like a very burnt potato to me. Do military stuff. Did you deploy to BC for the floods? No, I did not. Hatzimus. Yeah. Yeah, it's Hatzimus. I thought you were younger. Savage. You guys are savages today. Fat. Old. Anything else you want to throw at me, you buggers? Hey, Chris. 30 Ks. I wish. Have I developed an accent yet? A little bit. I've developed a beer gut. Will we play War Thunder? No, because I gotta get back in shape. He's gonna be the unit's next honorary colonel. No. No, I am not. Sorry about Charlie. Yeah. Let's not talk about it. I don't want to talk about Charlie today. I'm trying to stay positive. Breathing. Join the reserves the next month. Good for you, man. In this 1 minute, 40-minute period, you'll be doing bike cardio. You'll use these skills at home and in garrison threat your military career. Yeah. Place your left foot on the pedal. Do this now. Put your right foot on the pedal. Do this now. Commence exercise. Isn't Matt from England? Yes. But I live in Canada. If you got RSC, how many times can you try for a tier 1 selection course? I have no idea. Never been to RMC. Never attempted SF. Don't know. No idea. Well, we're going to try and go for 45 minutes here. My grandma could do better. 2 times as an officer. Yeah. He's training for US Navy PT standards because apparently biking is a thing in the Navy now. Well, that kind of makes sense. I mean, if you're on a ship, I believe like biking, stationary bikes is probably pretty popular. Outbike the enemy. Yeah. I'm on like level 8 right now. I should probably not be this high for a 45-minute session. But hey, here we are. VR makes the exercise bike. Virtual reality biking? I don't know about that. Buffsimus. I'm certainly not buff. No. No. I wish. Yeah, and the exercise bikes on the US Marine, US submarines, of course. VR exercise, hey? Right now I'm just going for fat burning, just taking it easy. When am I going to start getting the 10 to 20 minute hardware reviews again? When I have time. Right now, my weekends consist of working with the reserves on courses. Right now I'm doing comms courses or radio courses. I've pretty much been doing them for like the last 2 months. It's a lot of work, doing a full-time job, then doing comms courses, and then on top of that, like, I can't do YouTube as well. I have to prioritize. YouTube's not my priority one right now. Sorry guys, but it's just not. Have to focus on the important stuff, right? So right now, spare time needs to get me fit, not YouTubing. That's not saying I'm not gonna ever do it. It's just right now I'm prioritizing. I mean, for crying out loud, I haven't even finished my Challenger 2 model yet. I'm like, I've just made like literally the shell of the hull. I just haven't had time to do anything. So fitness is first. Fitness takes precedence, so here we are. What's a good thing to eat for school for 600 plus calories? Oh, I'm not a nutritionist. Don't ask me about nutrition. I might be able to help you with fitness, but not nutrition. Yeah, I am cycling. Apparently I'm going 20 miles an hour. I've done 2.9 miles. Love you, Matsmas. Love you too, Sir Barlow. Good day from Australia. I hope you have been good and your mental health is getting better. I hope it is too. That's why I'm working on the fitness, so that hopefully it'll help, but we'll see. Big gains. Yeah. Sent you a video on Discord to check out later. Okay, dude, I'll check it out. Danger zone. Get those dang copyright strikes, right? I'm sure I'll get copyright striked. Having Herman the German on the wall here. That figure 11 target is copyrighted. I drew that figure 11 in 1948, and he's using it on his channel. Strike that man. I want to join Reg Force after I'm out of high school, and then I'm going to try and get in shape. Any tips? Lots of running, circuit training, swim. I need to start swimming more. I used to love swimming. I don't do things I enjoy anymore. I don't know why that is. I used to love swimming. But here we are. He's changed his thumbnail to his avatar to an actual burnt potato. Yes. That's amazing. Boys and girls, slap that like button. It helps get the live stream populated to the rest of the subscriber base. So if you're watching, hit the like button, because YouTube will only share the content if it's being populated. So you have to hit the like, and the algorithm starts churning up and spooling up, and it will potentially send it to more people. So I encourage you, please hit the like button. It does help. Shout out to Burnt Potato in chat. That's awesome. An ordinary hay box potato. Yeah. Burnt potato in the calf is a normal potato. A burnt potato in the calf is like just a lump of charcoal. Big lime green fan. This is my, well, what was my green screen. Can't believe you actually changed your avatar. 50 likes and Matsmas plays CSDs while riding an exercise bike. I can't multitask like that, boys. F-35, SU-57. I want to say F-35. The SU-57 is sexier, let's be honest. I like your haircut. Thanks. I don't have much left on the old melon anymore, but hey, here we are. Okay, so if you just joined the stream, make sure you slap that like button. It really does help me a lot. I appreciate you all being here today. Dripsimers. Casual quality of this substance. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really need subs. I don't need a huge sub base, you know. The fact that I have 44 of you here is more than enough. I mean, it is nice to have more people here, but it's also nice just interacting and talking to you guys one-on-one instead of trying to chase like 3,000 people to talk. Like, I can actually have somewhat of a conversation, you know. Even though I'm breathing out my butt right now because I'm so out of shape. I'm on level 8 out of 10. Should probably bring it down a little bit. How'd it feel getting a shout out from the official Canadian Armed Forces page? Yeah, it was pretty cool. I'll be honest with you, when you're going through shitty times like I am right now, it's nice to have that little pep, but at the same instance, you know, I kind of knew it was coming, so 1 million mats must win. Never, I'm never gonna hit 1 million subscribers. It ain't gonna happen because I don't have a channel that appeals to 1 million people. Like, I think my fan base and my like subscriber base is probably capped out close to what it is now. I might hit 500,000 one day. I don't think I want to hit much higher than that. So, how's the personal time shooting going? Not sure if you've been to the range lately. Yeah, I haven't been there for a while. I haven't had the time, guys. I have not had the time to do anything. Ask for a raise. They gave me my raise when I got my promotion, although it was minuscule. No, I enjoyed the podcast. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It's nice to just have a genuine conversation about what I do without being in fear of things, you know? Because it plays on my anxiety every day. Every single day. Hey, look. Chinese water bottle. You like that? Genuine military issue Chinese water bottle. This is the one you can just get from the CanX. It's just a CanX shirt. I bought them when I ran out of t-shirts on course because one of my t-shirts got ripped. I didn't bring many civilian shirts on course, so I was like, I'll just go to the CanX and buy myself a couple of army shirts. Just what they had. So the canteen flavor is actually quite nice because these are steel or aluminum, so you don't get that nasty plastic taste, but they're easily dentable, these ones. But it's pretty good. 53 out of 53 people liked and visualizing this stream right now. Hit the like button, folks. Yeah, everything's made in China, boys and girls. Everything. It's black for stealth. There was a petition to give a fallen CAV veteran a Victoria Cross. Did you? I didn't see that. I did not see that. Out of an empty Audi shell? You mean this one? Just working out, you're just like, gotta get my drink on. Whew. Can you imagine actually having this as your water bottle mug? Like, just like, just pour it over your head. You can get the screenshots now. Everybody get your screenshots ready? I gotta get at least the full shell. Way too much fun. Hit the like button for Sea of Thieves fitness challenge. I'm not playing Sea of Thieves while exercising. It's not happening. Although me and the boys did have a really good time the other night. We did a Sea of Thieves game. That was a lot of fun. We did one of the challenges. I recorded it. Just haven't uploaded it yet, but we did the Sirens mission. Wow, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Dad found it in the tip when I was a kid. Had stamps on it from 1914. That's pretty cool. It won't be one of those rounds though. Not from 1914, it won't. That's a 105 round shell. They weren't firing that particular projectile in World War I. of that kind anyway. That's cool that you found a casing. Certainly shouldn't be in a garbage can. Should we read a book? Let me read you guys a book. Let's read a book. Today, folks, we're gonna read By Tank into Normandy. Here we go. By Lord Didies. Here we go. Oh, chapter 1. It's like ASMR. Here we go, ready? Ready to go. I'm going to read to you. Here we go. Chapter 1. It was 6:45 a.m. on Sunday, June 4th, 1944, in a wood near Calshot, on the western shore of Southampton Water, and the Brigadier was casting a disapproving eye in my direction. I was stripped to the waist in the early morning sunshine outside a tent I shared with Tim Alford, one of my fellow troop leaders in C Squadron. I was writing a letter to my brother Peter. The Brigadier obviously thought that I should be more formally occupied, but he said nothing, and I resumed my letter saying that I was looking for a hard-working but challenging time, but for security reasons couldn't say much more. Later that afternoon, in weather that still seemed favourable, we drove our tanks down to the nearby quay, just where Southampton Water meets the Solent, and boarding a landing craft tank, or LCD, belonging to 15th and 14th LCD flotillas. Ours was numbered 442. We moved out into the Solent, taking care to avoid the myriad of vessels plying back and forth, and slowly headed out towards sea. We had a little idea of General Eisenhower and his headquarters at Southwick Park near Portsmouth, preparing to take the decision to postpone Operation Overlord for 24 hours because of worsening weather conditions. This is hard reading and working out, but I'm enjoying it. My confidence was lifted by the presence around me of men who were already familiar with the horrors and excitements that war could bring. I was a 20-year-old newcomer, unblooded, while there were veterans of the successful campaign of North Africa in the desert. It had been January 1944 that I had joined the Nottinghamshire Wood Rangers Yeomanry, fresh from 100th Officer Cadet Training Unit at Sandhurst. The regiment had only been recently returned for 3 years in the Middle East, a period during which it involved every major engagement of the Desert War, including El Alamein. By the way, if you can ever study a tank battle, El Alamein is the way to go. Tim Alford never spoke about the desert or the heavy casualties the regiment had suffered, although his tank had been knocked out there. I was therefore unaware of how he and the others felt about what lay ahead. All I knew was I must not let them down. Ours was the last tank to reverse carefully up the narrow ramp onto the LCT, which meant we were the first off when the signal was given to launch. Arthur Reddish, my 23-year-old lap gunner and co-driver, picked up a small pebble from the beach as a last reminder of England, and I thought at the time that maybe he knew something that I did not. On the whole, however, the loading was achieved. I cannot remember anyone wishing us luck, although I couldn't really conjure up any more and appropriately heroic words or feelings in myself. In some craft, the words of Henry V before Agincourt might have well been uttered, but here I just felt myself among professionals who had a job to do and were determined to see it through properly. It did not occur to me that I may not see them again, and what I did not know that there was then only the troop leader in the regiment who would emerge unscathed from the whole Northwest Europe campaign. On our LCD, 5 Sherman DD tanks, swimming tanks as they had become known, were placed on board. The tanks of Sergeant Sid Sidway and Sergeant Kirby Tribe, both desert veterans, made up my troop of 3, and were joined by those of Captain Bill Enderley and C Squadron 2nd Command, Sergeant Major Robson. You having fun yet? I'm not. The LCT moved through the Solent and steadily out to sea. As the land disappeared over the horizon, so the weather began worsen. The wind picked up and the light rain became heavier, and the sea began to get rougher. Just when the word came through to us that the point that operation had been postponed, but although many vessels did not return to port, Our flotilla remained anchored outside Southampton. We stayed there through that night of June 4th and 5th, while we waited for the Supreme Commander to meet again with his staff to review weather conditions. The forecast of the group captain Stagg and the other meteorological experts was now more favourable, with the wind in the assault area of the not more force of 3, and so at 4 o'clock in the morning on June 5th, Eisenhower made the fateful and huge decision that D-Day would be on Tuesday, 6th of June. Chapter 2. Journeys in ships was something on which let's find a bit of, I don't like this one. In fact, let's go deeper. Let's see what we got here. I want to find a tank contact. Okay, here we go. No, not training. Let's see what we got here. Here we go, Chapter 4, D-Day. Here we go. Conditions on the Channel were unpleasant. As dawn broke on June the 5th, the dark stormy night turned into grey. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. Wait for it. RLCT and others began deploying into the assault formation to run into the beach. With action imminent, the knots in my stomach began to tighten. I tried to compose myself to remember what I had to do, to keep a clear head as the excitement mounted. Around us could be heard the drumbeat of the shore bombardment as cruisers and destroyers fired off their main guns and the aircraft roared into their targets. We were now heading straight for the shore, and I could already pick out one of two features on the French coast. Not only was the LCT in the van of assault, but our tank's position at the front of the LCD made it seem if we were leading a great steeplechase and gave us a feeling of immense responsibility and vulnerability. Around us, the other LCTs and assorted craft, breasting through the waves, were considerable. The spray broke across their forward ramps constantly. By now, Jeff Shorey, the tank engines running, and we could feel the throb of the 410 horsepower twin diesel. I gave the order for the canvas screen to be inflated to provide us with the flotation we needed in the water, and I checked the communication through the headphones with my crew and the troop. Everything was now ready for the moment we would launch and swim to the beach. This is what we had trained for. This is what the whole country had been waiting for 4 long years, and we had hauled ourselves back from the depths of disaster. The sea could certainly have been described as rough, but not for a moment did I believe we would not make it to shore. We had encountered similar conditions in training, and there was no reason to suppose that Bardi and Kolos would fail us. The record now suggests that the experience of the DD tanks varied enormously from sector to sector. On the American Utah beach, 28 DD tanks available after one LCTs had hit a mine and was sunk, all launched about 3,000 yards and swam in safely. Although so slowly that they arrived a few minutes after the infantry they were supposed to be supporting. Yet on Omaha Beach, the picture was very different. Here, 32 DD tanks were launched about 6,000 yards out. 27 of these tanks sank. Another 51 were taken to the beach by landing craft. In the British sector on Sword Beach, 34 tanks of the 13th and 8th Hussars launched from various distances. En route, 2 were rammed and sunk. 4 were disabled by enemy fire on the beach. 5 more were swamped by breakers, and 5 were taken to the breach by landing craft. Having fun yet? The tanks were low in the water and difficult to see their olive green battle colours. In the Canadian sector on Juno Beach, the majority of the DDs of the 6th and 10th Canadian Armoured Regiment arrived on the beach just behind the infantry. Yet many of them were launched much closer to the shore than planned. Since there were no obvious differences of the specification of the DD tanks used by the British, American and Canadians, they were all broadly similar, and it's fair to suppose these variations were caused by the fluctuation of sea and tide conditions. The wind and the tide were running strongly east to west, which gave protection to Utah at the base of the peninsula and 2 more of the easterly British beaches. The distance at which the tanks were launched must have also been significant because at barely 4 knots they struggled to make headway through any kind of swell. and the heavier seas seemed to be further out. At Omaha, tank after tank went down their ramps, were swamped by huge waves and sunk almost instantly. Only those who LCT commanders had presence of mind to drive close enough to the beach survived the day. On Gold, the intention was that the tanks of B and C squadrons of the Sherwood Rangers Yeomanry would be launched at 7,000 yards, nearly 4 miles out. It quickly became clear to all of us that this would be a complete disaster. The roughness of the seas at the slow pace at which we would crawl through it meant that we would simply be in the water for too long. And the longer we were there, the more chance there was of being struck by a wave that would swamp us. On Sword, a DD tank was run down by an LCD just after it left off the bay. It lost most of its crew. Furthermore, as we deployed towards the assault run, the planned discipline of the formation began to fragment. Though no fault of their own, some ships and crafts began to lag behind, while others forced their way forward. To launch too far out risked only sinking or being run down, but also a late arrival to the beach where the infantry was so badly needing the protection of our tanks. I'm not sure who made the decision to take us closer in, but it must have been agreed upon the naval commanders of the LCT and the tank squadron leaders. You enjoying this, boys and girls? I'm dying. It's hard reading and breathing. Maybe it's good for me. Maybe it's a good form of training. By the way, whoever sent the super chats there for $1.77, thank you very much, whoever that was. I appreciate you. Whew. Make sure you hit that like button. Was that Griffin? Scott? Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Okay, let's continue. I could now clearly see the shells from the naval bombardment on the shore. Let's have a drink before we keep going. For those who have just joined us, we're reading a book called By Tank into Normandy. We're at the beach landing. Take care, burnt potato. How long have we been going? 30 minutes. It's a pretty good burn. Hey Matt, so I'm glad you do videos just on the Highlanders. Awesome, man. Do we use shotguns in the military? Yes, we do. Not often, though. I am peddling V3, you little shit. I'm from an internet lurk. Okay, let us continue. We are about to land on the beach in our DD tank Shermans. Okay. Okay, let's continue. I could now clearly see the shells from the naval bombardment falling on the shore of the fighter bombers roaring to their targets. Every now and then we observed huge puffs of smokes and flames as targets were hit along the beach. I began to search the shoreline for objectives which were being sent for us to knock out. Our primary focus as tanks was obviously the German pillboxes, artillery positions and machine gun nests. The villas on the beach, many of them converted into strong points, were clearly visible and many of them were on fire. My legs are on fire. The distance between us and the shore gradually narrowed until we were about 600 to 700 yards out. My headset began to crackle into life as my radio started receiving orders from other tanks along the beachhead, some of them not through Pleasant. Gradually, the LCT lowered the heavy ramp onto the bows, and I could see the narrow strip of beach and a house behind it. The maps and the photographs we had been shown were now coming sharply to life. I instantly felt more vulnerable without the protection of the ramp had given us, and I already could see both spouts of water where the German shells were landing, and smaller indentations of machine gun bullets on our hull. As our own LCT came to a halt, so I became aware of others going past us. To our right, the LCTs of B Squadron, under Major Hansen Lawson, were up in line with us, and I saw they drop their ramps too. I glimpsed over at Jimmy McQuillan, a Glaswegian with red hair and a quiet sense of humour, who was a troop leader in B Squadron and already been wounded in the desert. Others were clearly trying to get in even closer on the beach, and the LCT carrying Tim Olfer and other C Squadron tanks went into 200 yards out from the beach before disengaging its cargo. All of those craft arrived safely on the beach in advance of the funnies. The funnies were known as the specialised tanks that were brainchildren of General Sir Percy Hobart. The crocodiles were flame-throwing tanks, modified Churchills, towing a trailer filled with fuel, which was discharged in a jet of a distance of up to 50 yards. This was very effective against pillboxes and strongly defensive positions. When will this chapter end? Jesus Christ. Then there were the flails with the removing chain in front of the tank to set off mines. Supplementing these were the assault vehicles Royal Engineers, or AVRAs, some carrying heavy dustbin-like explosive petard charges to destroy concrete obstacles, and for others when bridge lading later on. It was also given ditch filling equipment or wooden and steel fascines to lay down on the difficult boggy ground, and we used them often. Stephen Mitchell's craft, with Bill Enderby and I, were watching. Never did it drop its ramp. We later learned that it collided with another craft in the night, damaging its bows, so there had no alternative but to beach. Over the air I could hear some of the station butting in, and Stephen's furious cries of, "Get off the fucking air, I'm trying to fight a battle." Radio reception was extremely poor and confusing because of the continual interference from other stations. No one had coordinated the stations correctly, and because of the cliff edges and the rough seas, signal was being bounced off other regiments and units, making it surprisingly difficult for us to communicate. The critical moment of launching was now upon us. I could see 2 Avery Churchills brewing up on the beach, flames spewing from the top. The tanks had been completely destroyed and their crews killed by the 88mm shells which had ignited the explosives they had been carrying to clear obstacles. Soon I wondered if this could be us as our fate too. We were the front tank on the LCT, poised at the top of the ramp, and clearly silhouetted, a perfect target for German gunners. To make matters worse, steel hawsers holding the ramp were not quite tight enough, and we would be in danger of tipping over when we actually launch. So we had to wait precious moments while this was rectified. In those few moments, a shell slammed into the water in front of us. One on the other side of the ramp and another on the starboard beam. Sergeant Sidaway was wounded, and Bill Enderby too, in the arm. It was surely only a matter of time before we were hit too. I gave the order on the intercom, "Go, go, go." Jeff Story moved the vehicle into gear and we lumbered slowly off the ramp and flopped into the sea like a sea lion. Jeff engaged the propellers and we were on our way. I was still standing in my bridge position at the back of the tank, feeling terribly exposed and trying to peer over the canvas screen, while at the same time issuing orders to the driver and the crew. The sea was rough and the struts holding the screen were hard pressed to do their job properly. Possibly the screen itself had been damaged by one of the shells. Oh my god, this is nails. Reading a book while cycling. I'm at like level 8. We need an artillery drink. Okay, here we go. Lag victim. Oh, you getting lag? Uh-oh. Oh. You guys getting lag? Is that why you're all disappearing? Uh-oh. Maybe you've all disappeared. Speak to me, fellow followers. Is anyone there? Uh-oh. Keep pedaling. I am pedaling. You guys, am I lagging out now? Shouldn't be lagging out now. I think it's because it doesn't like the Wi-Fi. I think it's because the Wi-Fi is interfered when my heater comes on. So, would you like me to continue reading my book, or do you just want to talk? He stopped reading. You want me to continue reading? We just literally landed on the beach. It was brief. Okay. Can't handle your endurance skills. There's a diner at the finish line. I know you're laughing, V3. Tubby, 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 tubby. I may be tubby, but I'm still able to read. Okay, I'm reading. God, you guys are so pushy. Where were we? Okay. Let us continue our landing. We've just plopped into the beach in our DD tank. Here we go. We had gone about 50 to 70 yards in the water towards the beach when it became clear that something was seriously wrong. And it was certainly not the canvas screen. The tank was shipping water from the bottom. In the driver's compartment, Jeff Story was already knee-deep and he shouted, We're taking on water bloody fast. Arthur Reddish slipped into the co-driver's compartment and engaged the bilge pump. It worked, but the damage below must have been huge. And soon the water was pouring from the driver's compartment onto the deck. It was my guess that one of the shells had landed so close it had damaged the plates beneath the tank, potentially through a ricochet. Here there was no real armor, and this was part of the vehicle that was exposed while on the ramp. But whatever the cause, we were without a doubt sinking, and sinking fast. It was clear that we had no chance whatsoever to make it to the beach. I suppose on reflection, there was that certain irony in that we had just left the protection of a naval ship, only to find that we had effectively torpedoed ourselves. That's awesome. The Sherman DD tank was about to become the Sherman submarine. I gave the order to bail out and abandon ship. Corporal Footit, in the presence of mine, pulled the ripcord to inflate our yellow rubber dinghy, and Sam Kerman, our only non-swimmer, put it over the side. The tank was now virtually awash. We did not have long. I frantically scrabbled inside the turret to retrieve my map case, but without success. Trying to work quickly and calmly in a sinking tank is hard at any time. Hey, look, I can speak to this, okay? This Sherman crew, it's just come off a LCT landing on the beach, and their tank has been punctured underside, and the tank is literally drowning. I can speak to this. When you're in an armored fighting vehicle, because I've been upside down in one, nearly died in one several times. If you go upside down in a tank, now they're not upside down, but I can sense the feeling of knowing that this tank is not on ground and is going down under the water. How stressful that must be. Not only that, but I'm sure this crew has trained with this particular tank and piece of equipment for a long time. And that must be upsetting to know that your tank is about to go to the bottom of the channel. It's pretty upsetting. So anyway, let's continue. So everything became so tangled up. So I gave it up as my bad job. I ripped off my headphones, jumped out of the turret, and fell into the dinghy. All of our personal possessions went to the bottom of the sea. Jeff Story and Arthur Reddish came out from their hatches, no doubt relieved to not have to use the Davis escape apparatus, and they piled into the dinghy too. Though not without Arthur going into the sea at one point, I, of course, was stupidly not wearing my life preserver, so it was fortunate that the dinghy had inflated correctly and not been punctured. The dinghy itself was not large, and we were very wet and cramped, but at least, temporarily anyway, we were safe. Seconds after we'd all scrambled out, Barding Collos fulfilled the destiny of its name and disappeared beneath the waves. The two other tanks in my troop fared a little better. Bill Endity's tank did make it to the beach, but he himself had been wounded and had to be immediately evacuated. Sergeant Major Robson's tank also sank, although he and his crew were saved, as were all of the crew of my troop. In all, 5 tanks of C Squadron of 3 B Squadron tanks sank, and along with 5 of the 4th and 7th Royal Dragoon Guards, the rest made it, although many of them, like Tim Offler's troop, had been driven in far too close to the beach by the Navy. Monty Hawley, commanding a troop in B Squadron, was killed as he was landing his tank on the beach. His co-driver, Bert Jenkins, remembers that they had a shortish swim in. On arrival on the beach, when they were dropping the canvas screen, they were hit by a heavy machine gun, and the fire was tremendous, with flashing all over the front. This set the screen and the spare fuel on fire. They all bailed out into the shallow water, but Bert and 2 other crew members hid behind the tank. Monty Hawley and his driver, Troopy Warbees, was not so lucky, and they were both fatally hit by machine gun fire as they tried to bail out of the vehicle. Snipers also wounded Colonel Anderson, who had to be evacuated back to England and was never seen again. Wow. That's pretty scary stuff, folks. I can't imagine being on a tank like that, in water, heading towards a wall of fire, knowing at any minute you're either going to be drowning, getting shot, blown up, or, catching fire inside of your tank. Those 88s just chew Shermans to pieces. So it's scary stuff. It's really scary stuff. Can't imagine being a crew member back in those days. I really can't. So thanks again, whoever sent the super chats. Looks like someone else has sent some money there. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, thanks for I like the flag. It's pretty cool. We can have a drink from my Chinese water bottle. Oh. He's telling me to pedal again. It's like, you guys pedal, man. Why aren't you pedaling? I'm trying. I'm reading a damn book for the last half an hour. So you guys. Kiss old Herman here. Where's everybody gone? Is it frozen again? Keep pedaling. I am pedaling! I need to get a better seat for this thing. Holy cow. It is not comfortable. At all. It's horrible. What it says so far, I've done, let's see here. How many miles have I done? 14 miles. I'm pretty happy with that. I've burnt 550 calories. I'm going 20 miles an hour apparently right now. Level 8 is savage, folks. It's savage. Wide seats are nice, but rub your thighs and not go for long distance. This isn't wide. I know what this is. It's not comfortable. Well, we got 1 more minute, folks, so make the most of it. I'm about to go. Smash that like button, folks, if you just joined. I appreciate you all being here today, hanging out with me. Maybe we'll read some more books next time. ASMR with Matt. Sponsored by Chinese military water bottles. 45 seconds. Oh. Well, I hope you're all having a wonderful day, week, night, whatever it is for you. I'm not doing a Sea of Thieves exercise stream. Right, Herman? It's okay. It's okay. Don't be sad. Drink with Maximus. Please don't leave, I need more tank facts. Okay, 15 seconds. And just so you know that I'm not lying to you with my time, I'm going to show you my results. Whew. 20 seconds. Cool down. Okay, let's show you my results so you know I'm not lying to you. Okay, here we go. 45 minutes. Oh, it's disappeared. Go back. He rigged the machine. Yeah, sure I did. Come on. There we go. 15 miles, 45 minutes, 524 calories. That's weird. Pretty sure it said something else earlier, but here we are. So, folks, that's it. I appreciate you stopping by. Oh, this isn't comfortable. This chest sucks. Oh. Big gains. That's it, everyone. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the super chats. For those who sent me super chats, it's very kind of you. As always, I tell you guys to keep your money, but you're not listening to me, so pogue and proud, buddy. Pogue and proud. A cheers to you. And we'll call it quits there. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Yeah, apologies for not creating as much content as I normally would. But yeah, busy, life is stressful. Hey, here we are. Take care. Get yourself doing some push-ups right now. Go do 20 push-ups just for the sake of it. That's what I'm going to try and do. I'll catch you next time. All the best, folks. Bye-bye.